Welcome to another Greater Tax Returns Agency Training Essentials. And in this video tutorial, we're going to share with you some of the fundamentals of familiarizing yourself with some of the docs that you will receive, and then make the connection with those docs that you'll receive from clients. From clients, and then making the connection with the docs you receive from clients to the forms on your in the software that you're processing, utilizing for processing returns. So once you've established your client filing status, then you can determine the types of documents you need. Okay, and so that's why we gave you a checklist of that's provided on the software, and we'll show you that in a minute, of the documents that you will need, and or you can actually look at the video of the getting prepared for a client, uh, and from there you can see what documents you may need for any given client. Okay. Or clients will bring in documents, and then you just go from there. And let me make sense of this. We're going to go on over to the software, and we'll give you an idea of how all this makes sense. Okay, so we've logged into your tax preparation software, and we're in the client manager of one of the clients in here, Jane Doe, at her Manage Returns portal. And what we're going to do, we're going to click on Edit, and then we click on Direct Input, which is automatically uh, highlighted. So we're going to click Save and Continue. Okay, so our focus today in this video tutorial are all the forms over here, and making over here on the left hand side, and making the connect between the forms that you receive from clients, and then the form, and then the documents you receive from the clients to the forms that you have in your system. Okay, making a connection. It is very, very simple, but let's take a look at a couple of things. When you log into your Greater Tax Returns portal, you can look over here on the right hand side of your portal, and all the forms that you need are simply in terms of intake, client intake, any information you need is simply you have your links right here. Clients documents needed to process, client document checklist 1 and 2. Between these three forms, you should be able to distinguish the documents that a client needs. The checklist, these two documents here, are no more than checklists that you can give to a client. And how we work this out is you make prints of this. It's 2 sides, 1 and 2. Okay, and let's say you speak with a client and they don't know what to bring in. Then you just simply check off what they need to bring in. And if you need to write down a couple of documents, additional documents that they need to bring in, that's fine too. The difference with this checklist and that we will be updating is that we are adding the birth certificate, copy of the birth certificate, for a lot of reasons, and one of it has a lot to do with identity theft, and so it's not a bad idea to get copies of that, along with if they're filing self-employment, or proof of residency, utility bills, credit card bills, that kind of thing. We prefer at least up to 6 months. That may be a little drastic, but we've had cases where the Internal Revenue has asked for that period of time to prove that that person has lived there for 6 months. Now, that doesn't mean that the person cannot file tax returns. Okay, because if you compare their driver's license to their utility bills to the school to you know, a lot of other variables, their, you know, lease agreement, then that can all make sense. Okay, so whatever you do, it has to make sense. But all the documents that you need are right here to download to establish what documents you need for any given client. The Let's go to right here where it says clients documents needed to process. You actually click on this, click into this page. Okay, you have how to submit, which we have a video that, if you know, a video that you can um, view that establishes, I mean, that can assist you more about how to submit documents, and then any other documents, for example, identity verification documents, dependent verification, residency verification, proof of child, you know, just everything that you need in terms of documents. Now, when you're emailing a client, you simply copy and paste the documents you need into and throw it in the email and just say, listen, this is what I need, and there you go, you have it. And or you can download the checklist that is right here, that we provided right here. The questionnaire, the customer questionnaire, again, we have a video tutorial. If you follow the video tutorials from beginning to end, starting with in the beginning, we go over, you know, all of the essentials that you need to get started with your training. So we're going to click here, and also in orientation video. So we kind of overlap with information, and basically all it's doing is reiterating what we want you to know. So in steps 1, how to navigate the tax preparation site, and step 2, preparing your clients to process video series. Okay, all of this information from your forms to your customer questionnaire is added in there. And again, everything is very repetitious as it relates to the training. Also, in your agent orientation video series, which is right here, you will find some of the similar information. But let's get started. Let's go back to your tax preparation software, and after you filled out your questionnaire, your customer questionnaire, and you've gotten the necessary documents you think you need, okay, like W-2s or mortgage statements, or if they've receiving unemployment, if they're receiving Social Security benefits, if they're receiving a pension, you know, this type of income, it's based on whatever documentation that they bring in. And it's simple. For example, if they bring in a W-2, okay, all you simply have to do is go to your software and just type in W-2. Okay, and the form comes up. Okay, if you type in pension, let's just say they received a pension and you don't know the form number, type in pension, and as you can see, a 1099-R just came up right here. And this document, all you have to do is follow the yellow brick road and click on Add New and start the process of filling out the document based on the documents that you receive from the client. Okay, we've actually talked about the W-2. Let's say you received a 1099 DIV. This is dividends and distributions. Let's go back over here and let's type in a 1099 You see it all automatically comes up. So most of the forms, as you can see right here on the left-hand side, you can find whether it's interest income, which we were going to share with you, dividends and distribution, if they come in with that, if your clients come in with that, just about any form, railroad, retirement benefits, just Social Security benefits. As you can see, a SSA, these clients receive these forms at the end of the year. Most corporations are required, all corporations are required to give these, to send out these forms, and clients will bring them in for you. Now, let's say a client says, I have a mortgage, but they haven't produced the documentation. Well, what you need to do is advise them to go to the company that they either retired from. You know, they need to talk to, if they receive Social Security or a pension, they need to go to that company or the Social Security Administration office and get a printout that they do receive Social Security benefits. If they hadn't received their statement at the end of the year, or they've misplaced it, we need that documentation on file. Okay, you need a copy of it. So if there's a question, excuse me, that arises, and you got the documentation to back you up. So in short, just about any document that a client brings in and that you need to process, even though you may not even know the form, just type it in here. Just type it in here and you'll find it, or you can scroll down. Now, let's say the person is receiving alimony income. Okay. Let's just say the client is receiving alimony income. That information, you just type in alimony and that it'll come up. If a person is receiving alimony, now alimony is income to the person that's getting paid the alimony. Okay. But however, if you're paying out alimony, there's credits to that person. They receive a credit because they're paying alimony. So it's not a failed situation for most people who think, okay, I have to pay this alimony, but you do receive credits for it. So there are so many different types of documents that you can familiarize yourself with. Now, a lot of them you may never use, but it's just good to know that they're here. Or if you do come across a rare situation, just type in either the document number, which on most documents you see, like the 1099 INT, or the name of the document. And if all else fails, give us a call, give your corporate, you either speak with your manager and or call the corporate office. If you can't get answered, then call the IRS. They'll let you know. They'll let you know. We also, the engineers that work with us regarding the tax software are also great to work with. And we've provided those phone numbers as well. So if you have issues with the software and you're trying to find something, please, by all means, call them as well. So that's it in a nutshell. It is so important to make the connection with the software and the forms that you receive at any given time. There's one other thing I want to show you. Here's a Schedule A's if you need to Schedule A, to utilize a Schedule A if a client wants to itemize deductions, okay? And that's what it does. It helps in all areas of deductions. And then also a Schedule C is for individuals who are self-employed. And we're going to go into depth with both of those forms, because a lot of folks utilize both of these. Well, Schedule A mostly because a lot of people itemize, especially if they're not receiving the earned income credit. This form right here reduces their adjusted gross income with hopes that they don't have to pay any taxes. And if they do pay, they're reduced because they've been itemized. Well, thank you for joining us in this video tutorial presentation, and we look forward to seeing you in the next.